Welcome back to the deep dive. So many of us start the year, or maybe just a Monday, with these huge ambitions,
Yeah.
right? Big goals.
Yeah, absolutely. A better version of ourselves.
Exactly. But why do they so often just fizzle out? Why does that motivation disappear, leaving you feeling like, well, like you failed again?
That's the core question, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
So today, we're diving into a book that I think fundamentally changed how millions, definitely myself included, think about real, lasting personal change.
Must be Atomic Habits.
You got it. James Clear's Atomic Habits came out in 2018. It's this great blend of self-help, productivity, and like behavioral psychology.
Mm-hmm.
And our mission today, basically, cut through all the noise. We want to pull out the really potent, actionable stuff, those nuggets of knowledge, to give you a shortcut to understanding its core message and, crucially, how you can actually apply it.
And that question you asked, why goals fail, that's exactly what Clear tackles, like head on. His main idea, it sounds simple, but it's actually pretty transformative.
Yeah.
He says big success isn't about these giant leaps we imagine. It's the result, the cumulative product of thousands of tiny, almost invisible atomic habits. They're all woven together in our daily lives.
Like compound interest, but for habits.
Precisely. And he has that famous quote, which is just so profound. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
Oof. Yeah, that hits home.
Right. So this deep dive, it's really about breaking down how to build those essential systems, the ones that let you consistently achieve things instead of just, dreaming about goals.
Okay, yeah, that quote alone, it's a total game changer for so many people. It just shifts your whole focus from the end result to the actual process.
Completely.
So let's unpack this. Because Clear doesn't just say, hey, systems are important. He gives us this remarkably clear, like step-by-step framework for understanding how habits actually work, and maybe more importantly, how we can deliberately change them.
Yeah, and what's really cool is how he simplifies the complex psychology behind why we do things. He introduces what he calls the four-step habit loop.
Really?
It's something we probably all know intuitively, but seeing it broken down makes it so much more actionable. So, first up is the cue.
The trigger.
Exactly, that little signal that kicks off the habit. Then you've got the craving, that's the desire, the motivation you're trying to satisfy. After that comes the response, which is, well, the actual habit you perform.
The action itself.
The action itself. And finally, the reward, that satisfaction or benefit you get from doing it, which then tells your brain, hey, let's do that again. It reinforces the loop.
Right.
And understanding this cycle, it's absolutely pivotal. It's the key to figuring out why you do what you do, and therefore how you can start to engineer new, better behaviors.
So understanding the loop gives us the why. But what I really loved, and I think you'll agree, is how Clear then translates that into these super simple, actionable steps for changing things.
Oh, absolutely.
He calls them the 4 laws of behavior change, and they map directly onto that habit loop, don't they?
They do, perfectly. It's one thing to grasp the mechanics, right? But the real power is in the application. Clear's 4 laws, they're basically practical instructions, how to make good habits stick, how to break bad ones.
Okay, lay them out for us.
Sure. So to build a good habit, you essentially want to make it irresistible. First law. Make it obvious. Make the cue impossible to miss.
Like leaving your running shoes by the door.
Exactly. Or your book on your pillow. Second law. Make it attractive. Increase that craving. Maybe you pair the new habit with something you already enjoy, like listening to your favorite podcast, but only while you do the dishes.
Ah, I like that one. Temptation bundling.
That's it. Third law, make it easy, reduce the friction, make the action simpler. And this isn't just physical effort, it's mental effort too.
So like packing your gym bag the night before, or the 2-minute rule.
Precisely. Start small, just 2 minutes. And finally, the 4th law, make it satisfying. Ensure there's some kind of immediate reward. Our brains love instant gratification.
Yeah, delayed gratification is tough.
It really is. So find a little win right away. And then if you want to break a bad habit, you just flip these laws on their head.
Make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying.
You got it. It really forces you to look at your own routines and think, okay, how are these laws playing out for me right now?
And, it's not just about the mechanics, the cues, and rewards. Clear takes it, I think, a level deeper. He introduces what he calls his most powerful concept, identity-based habits.
Ah, yes. This is crucial.
It's such a profound shift in thinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It goes beyond just actions. It's not just about what you do. It's about who you become.
Right. The focus shifts internally.
He gives that really powerful example in the book. Instead of saying, I'm trying to quit smoking.
You say, I'm not a smoker.
Exactly. It reframes the whole thing. It's not a temporary struggle anymore. It's part of your core identity.
Yeah.
It really challenges you, the listener, to ask yourself, what identity am I actually voting for with my actions every single day?
And if we connect that idea, identity-based habits, back to the book's core philosophy, that's where it really clicks, I think.
Yeah.
It elevates it beyond just a productivity hack.
Yeah.
Like Clear says so well, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Just think about that. Every time you say, make your bed.
You're not just tidying up.
No, you're casting a vote for being an organized person, a disciplined person. It's not just a clever phrase. It's like foundational to how progress compounds.
He has that other great line, too. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement.
Exactly. Just like tiny bits of money grow exponentially over time, so do these consistent small habits, which leads him to that powerful conclusion. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. These aren't just nice quotes. They really underscore the huge long-term implications of focusing on these small, consistent actions for real growth and achievement.
Yeah. It's no wonder Atomic Habits has resonated with so many people. Millions, actually.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, its biggest strength is just how accessible it is.
It really is easy to read.
Super easy. Clear's writing is so straightforward. No jargon, tons of relatable stories, real examples that just make these psychological ideas feel, well, obvious, intuitive.
And it's science-based, which gives it weight.
Definitely. It's grounded in science, but it's not dense or difficult. Everything's explained in a way that's just digestible. You don't need a PhD to get it.
Right.
And it feels like you can open almost any chapter and find something that connects directly to your life, something you can use like right away. It feels less like a typical self-help book.
And more like a manual.
Yeah, like a self-strategy manual. That's a good way to put it.
Now, while it's overwhelmingly praised, it is fair to touch on maybe one or two minor criticisms people sometimes raise.
Okay.
Some folks, maybe those looking for a quick fix, an overnight magic solution, they might feel a little let down.
Because it's not magic.
No, Clear is very upfront about that. This is a game of patience. It's about consistency, small improvements, iteration. It's a blueprint for building resilience, not a silver bullet.
That makes sense. Anything else?
Well, occasionally you hear someone say it feels maybe a little repetitive, especially around the 4 laws.
I can see that.
But, connecting back to the goal, I'd argue that repetition is kind of the point. It's intentional. It helps drill those core concepts in so you don't just understand them, you master them.
It's like practicing scales on a piano.
Exactly. That repetition builds fluency and makes it automatic.
That's a really fair point about the repetition. It definitely hammers the key ideas home. Okay, so final verdict time. We're giving Atomic Habits a solid 9.5 out of 10. It consistently earns that kind of rating.
High praise, but deserved.
Totally deserved. Because it's not just, motivational fluff. It's a genuinely practical, step-by-step guide for building a better life, brick by tiny brick. If your goal is just to get 1% better every day, this book is like your daily dose of actionable wisdom. It really helps build that momentum. So what does all this mean for you listening right now?
Well, I'd say this book is definitely for you if you've ever felt stuck. If you want to be more productive, but you just struggle to make habits stick.
Yeah.
It's for you if you feel like you waste too much time, or if you maybe beat yourself up for being lazy, when really the problem might be your environment or your systems, not you.
Right, blaming the system, not the person.
Exactly. And ultimately, if you're just feeling like you want to start a new life or become a different version of yourself, this book isn't just a starting point. It's the clear, actionable roadmap you actually need to get there.
It really seems like Atomic Habits lives up to the hype. It empowers us to see that focusing on those robust systems, rather than just wishing for goals, is the real sustainable way to transform.
So if habits truly are the compound interest of self-improvement, maybe consider this. What's one seemingly tiny, insignificant atomic habit you could intentionally start today, maybe just for 2 minutes? And what kind of exponential long-term impact could that one small action, repeated day after day, have on the future you're actually building, vote by vote?
That is a powerful thought to leave with. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We really hope it helps you build the habits that will shape the future you want.